Hello, everybody. Today I want to talk about the process of embracing failure in your life. Rita, why should I embrace failure? We, as human beings, we are trained and conditioned to understand that success must be the only thing that we accept as the status quo of our life. When we were in a school, we were told that when you pass your exams, we were accepted more at home. When we started to walk and we faltered, we were scolded and sent back and started to walk again. The moment we managed to walk successfully, we were clapped for and embraced. When we got married or when we were in relationships, depending on the type of relationships we were in, if we came with a gift and a present, our loved ones shouted and yelled and celebrated. If we did not get a gift, we were often scolded. And the list goes on and on. Society has conditioned us to accept us more when we succeed and to accept us less when we fail. We have been taught that success, producing the results that we set out to do, and some of those results, we are not even the ones who set them out. They are benchmarks set by other people. So today I want to talk to you about embracing failure and turning failure as a stepping stone to success. Finding yourself innovative, finding yourself being willing to learn, to adjust, to adapt, to change. The change, sometimes a radical change that will come into your life. When we can teach ourselves the truths, when we can discover for ourselves the pearls, when we can grow and appreciate the germinating pearls of failure, we liberate our souls and our spirit to what else is possible. There's a wonderful scripture that says, unless a corn of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abides alone. But in order for something to germinate, you have to bury it. You have to cover it. You have to water it. In those moments of failure, in those lonely spaces of moisture, humidity, darkness, rejection, frustration, losses, turbulence, storms, whirlwinds, kavuluvulus, whatever it is that has introduced failure to you, there is hope. Remember the wonderful parable, every dark cloud has a silver lining. When we start to see failure as a partner of success, we shift our mindsets from defeat to growth. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of our own abilities, we start to see failure as the womb and the birthing place of new cognitive, spiritual, skillful, psychological, and social abilities. A story is told of a man who was driving somewhere, and he was in a hurry because he had been delayed along the way by one or two other activities. And as he was going, he had a puncture that he did not expect. And and in frustration, he mumbled and complained and ground his teeth and so on and so forth. And he saw failure as a delay to where he was going. Well, within 20-30 minutes, luckily, he changed his flat tire, and put the take me home tire. No sooner had he finished putting the new tire and started to drive than he found a terrible accident right ahead of him. And there was mangled up in that accident, because as he was changing the tire, 2 or 3 emergency vehicles went past him, and he could hear sirens everywhere. So obviously, his frustration of changing the tire did not recognize the danger that was impending ahead of him. But as he now drove past the mangled wreck and the carnage that awaited him in front, he realized that the car that he was trailing, plus another car that was trailing him, were involved in a very fatal collision and accident up ahead of him. And as he passed by the emergency scene 100 meters away, he parked his car, bowed his knee and his chin, and recognized that that failure was an opportunity for him to learn and grow, to change his ways, perhaps to appreciate his successes in the midst of failure. Yes, I had a flat tire, but my life is saved. Failure can be a stepping stone that unlocks new opportunities in our lives. Failure can be a birthing place of new opportunities and potential. Failure can be a chance for you to bounce back. Many years ago, I was writing a particular subject from the Chartered Institute of Marketing, and I was nearly done with my program. This was my very last subject. And for some odd reason, this subject was stubborn. And I wrote it the first time, I never cleared it. I felt like a failure. And I got determined that I would pass the next 6 months. I studied it. Imagine I had cleared all other subjects, but I was remaining with one. And so, to cut the long story short, on my 5th attempt, I cleared this subject. But in the process of rewriting the 3rd and 4th, I met someone at that tuition center who would later become an amazing business partner and amazing friend. Through my embracing of my failure, I also embraced a new partner and a new colleague. Through my struggles and experiences, my perseverance, my determination, my endurance all grew. I want you to know that you need to use fear to tap into your faith. You need to let every experience of failure to tap into new success. You need to consider your failures as partners to your success, not as enemies of your success. So the next time you see failure, say to yourself, what have you come to help me realize? It is in failure that our hands go into our heart. In success, our hands go into our pockets because we are full of pride. Above all, failure builds character. It is in darkness that a plant realizes phototropism, that it gravitates towards light. Sometimes for us to appreciate the beautiful things of life, we have to go through the bad things of life. Sometimes for us to love the great people of lives, we have to be exposed to some bad mama jammers. Sometimes for us to appreciate gravity, we have to go through stagnation. I don't know what you're going through. It may be a half empty glass to some, but I want you to turn it into a half full glass. When we change our perspective of failure, we begin to see great success and we change our attitude. Remember, it's not what you go through that matters. It's how you go through it. Have a beautiful day. Have a successful day. A day that changes every failure into success. I'll talk to you soon. This is your friend Mobita Nawa. Bye-bye.